All right, so today we are going to go over how to run a successful in-home pop-up. I feel like I want in these next couple weeks go over like back to basics kind of deal. As a trainer, that was my main job, was making sure that all of my girls knew the basics and knew how to run a pop-up, how to run a sale, how to not even just book things, but how to actually physically run it. And so I want to make sure, because there's a lot of people who maybe don't have a trainer between me and them, who I just want to go back to the basics and how I teach it basically. A lot of them are already recorded, but it's very different how I run it now than how I used to run things and I've had, I didn't even count. I wanted to count how many pop-ups I've done, but honestly, I don't know if I could even calculate that. But when I was first here in San Antonio last year, well, I guess it was like a year and a half ago, I was doing 3 to 4 a week, and some months I didn't do any. But when I was busy, I had 3 to 4 a week, and I had a lot of our team helping me because that was when my back blew out, and so I had a lot of the girls here in San Antonio, mainly Courtney and Rochelle, and Cassie came and helped me at parties. So a lot of them were able to meet a lot of my customers, which was awesome. So obviously the first thing is booking, and we're not going to focus on booking your in-home in this training because I feel like we just recently did a how to book in-home pop-ups not very long ago, and if you want to watch that training, I can get that for you. But I think that it's important that now we talk about, okay, it's booked, now how the heck do I do it? And for someone like me who has been in customer service before, a lot of the things that I do at in-homes come naturally from things that I've learned at my previous jobs. And so I try to really tune into that things that I naturally do that maybe may not come to someone's mind while they're there at the pop-up. And so I want to make sure that we're going to talk about that. And then this is open forum. So if there are things that I'm going to go through my list, and if there are things that you feel like you've been able to do and bring success for yourself at in-home pop-ups and you want to talk about and you want to incorporate in, then please speak up and let's chat about it, and let's all share the love with each other. Okay, because that would be fantastic. So obviously you need to have them booked. And sometimes before you book them, you need to actually practice how you're going to ask someone to book a pop-up. For myself, I don't necessarily need to do that. I'm a person that just jumps in and will be very direct with someone, but not everyone's like that. And so what I have found, like Benj, he needs to practice his verbiage, and he actually likes to have notes and likes to write stuff out and make sure that it's written how he likes it. And we have consultants on our team that would send me like, this is what I think I want to write. What is this? What do you think about this? Feel free to do that if you want to type a message or read a message to someone on the phone. And can you guys turn that down a little bit? Oh my goodness. No, wait, turn it all the way down. Okay, I'm just telling you, be in charge of it all the way down. All the way down, Parker. Okay. So that's one thing that you can do to kind of, because you have to prepare physically and you need to prepare mentally. There's two different sides to being around women who are trying on clothes, who are giving you that opportunity to be vulnerable with you. So when you are booking, you might be doing that. You might have already prepared verbiage. You might have already practiced that. So that's something that you're going to incorporate in pre-pop-up as well. I want you to think of situations that might happen. So if someone walks in and has a return that wasn't from you, how are you going to reply? How are you going to handle it? Another situation, if a consultant walks in and tries to sell her inventory, it's happened. How are you going to reply? How are you going to deal with it? Have this stuff prepared so that you feel when those situations, if they happen, you feel 100% prepared for that, and it doesn't catch you off guard. If someone finds a damage in the dress when they put it on, I don't know how many times it's happened to me. Be prepared to, are you going to offer a discount on that dress for them? Are you going to take it right off of them and apologize and have them pick something else? Are you going to, how are you going to handle that. I have sold damaged things at a discount in person because the person wants that print so badly. So you have to practice that. And that's what that's going to do, is that is going to give you the confidence to deal with any situation and to be able to handle any like confrontation that might seem scary and intimidating at times. And so what I have found is if I physically write down the worst situations I can imagine that can happen at pop-ups, you know, like my rack falls over, or, you know, someone trips over my rack and wants to sue me. I mean, the absolute worst situations, just get them out on paper, get them out of your head, you know, because we all have those fears. What if someone wants me to put an outfit together and I have no idea what to do? How are you going to handle that situation? So all of these, whatever is your biggest fear with pop-ups or a situation that you think might happen with pop-ups, write them down. That's my challenge. It's like been the most helpful thing with pop-ups, is write these things down and write down how you will respond and how maybe an exact verbiage and just a situation. Explain how you'll respond and how you'll deal with it. That's been extremely helpful for me in knowing, and some of those things are natural for me. Like I naturally have a customer service reaction. So I won't in person react angrily, but like for instance, if someone trips over my rack and wants to sue me, I need to have already thought of that and prepared my business, that I already have business insurance, that my business is safe, and that my livelihood is safe, you know? And so that and that has never happened to me. That's like the worst case. I've never heard of it happening to anyone. That's just worst case scenario. You just never know. People aren't always nice. And so think of things like that. What if you show up to a pop-up and your hostess has 2 flights of stairs to apartments and she didn't tell you she lived in an apartment, and you're carrying everything and you have 6 racks full of inventory? You know, like, what are you going to do in that situation? Are you going to call someone for help? Or are you just going to do it? Did you bring an extra set of clothes? Did you bring tennis shoes to walk up and down the stairs? Are you going to require your hostess to help you? You know, whatever those things need to be, that is what's going to give you the most confidence for pop-ups. So prepare your mind, okay? Once it's booked, prepare your mind for it. And my second thing for preparing your mind is, once you have it booked, and every single time I have a pop-up, the day of the pop-up, I call it the pop-up cancellation jitters. Every single time I have a pop-up, I want the hostess to cancel. It's so weird, but I'm always like, I'm tired. I don't want to do it tonight. I'm nervous. What if no one shows up? Every time I'm always Marco Poling Leslie or Bethany, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to do this pop-up. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to do it. And how come, like, why did I book it? That's so crazy. But it's like I'm having anxiety about it, and I'm worried about how it's going to turn out. And no joke, 2 years in, I still feel that way. And so do they. And it's so funny. Okay. But it's because it's the unknown of not knowing if it's going to be successful or not. And so just be aware that that might happen to you. Part of that for me is my social anxiety. And I'm changing. This last year I've been changing a lot I've been getting a lot more introverted, which I'm not used to. And so part of that is me working through that, my own situation, my own life. But what has been helpful for me is just being aware of it and being able to have a sounding board. So having someone that I can reach out to and say, I'm actually not excited, or I'm super excited and I can't wait till it comes and I can't even focus on anything else because I'm so excited. So the pop-up jitters, they're either going to be good ones or bad ones, and it's gonna happen. So what helps for me, mindset, is to blast music on my way to pop-up. I love music. It helps me to get into the mindset, get ready, get pumped. I ask the hostess, please have music on, because it is so boring without music. And if she doesn't put music on, I just put music on my iPad and I play that. And I used to bring a little Bluetooth speaker with me because I just was prepared that way. I didn't want to ever have a pop-up without music. There's girls who prepare their pop-ups so well that customers have zero chance of needing a question answered. So they have signs everywhere. They have everything explained, big signs with sizing, where if a customer had a question about anything, they would figure it out by reading. And she did it that way because she also has social anxiety and she does not want to get asked a bazillion questions. So she has her pop-ups prepared so that anyone who comes in and reads will be able to understand. And that's her being true to herself and her knowing what her limits are and what she can handle and not handle. Now, once I'm there, I'm fine. It's the build up for it with my anxiety. And then afterwards I want to sleep. But so I don't do that. I don't do signage. I used to do like these little, I used to do these, I have a whole ring thing and it has every style and every size and alphabetical order. And it's really cute, but I only have one. And really the odds of someone grabbing this and really taking the time to look through every style and every size is slim to none. And so it was kind of just sitting there, there was no point of it. Maybe one person a pop-up would use it. And so I don't really take it with me anymore. I leave it at my house. But it was really helpful for that one person that did look through it and did see that it was helpful. But it was a little bit overwhelming for a newbie to see that there's 40 different size charts, right? So the best thing that I could do for them was to give them the basic size chart and have them learn off of that maybe they want to size up or size down. Okay. I used to bring, you can bring price charts. You can bring, they used to give us these little, I have a ton of price sheets in in our welcome packages. I'm not sure if you guys still get them, but I also have size charts for leggings. This is all part of the prep part. This is all what's going to ease your mind. Okay, having stuff that tells people what is sitting there so that you don't have to continue to answer the same question over and over. Sometimes I'll put these little yarn on it. It's literally just taped on. And this goes on the end of the rack. So someone could just see the sizing. And I'll do this with a size chart and with that. We used to get what all of our fabrics are made of. This is an old product, guides and hints. And I would bring this with me, but now we have over 50 fabrications. So this is nothing compared to what we have now. So I don't bring this anymore. I don't even know why I still have it. This is a newer fabric swatch that I was able to snag before I moved back here. This has a lot more fabrics in it. And so I think the welcome packages are getting these. I'm not sure. I also have heard maybe we're getting these at convention because they had grips of them at home office and someone on our team asked for them. I don't remember who it was. Someone was like, Bethany, are you still on here? I think it was during the trainer retreat. Someone was like, can I have one? Can we have those? And I can't, maybe she's not on here. I thought she was. I don't remember who it was, but somehow we got these. And this isn't obviously 50 fabrics, but it's a lot more than we used to have. So, but they have a bunch of these, and I don't know how they're going to distribute them. I have heard there's a humongous product knowledge class that's going to reinvent how we talk about products. I bring my Hostess Wanted, my Hostess packet. I bring 3 or 4 of these, right? Because in my head, I'm probably not going to book more than 3 or 4 parties at a pop-up. But it talks about being a hostess, so I can say right then and there, if you host a party, you host a party. You can give away an incentive, or you can say you get 1 free for every 10. So I'll bring this. I'll bring, obviously, business cards, which are these. I'll bring my thank you cards, and I'll bring bags so that I have bags. And that's what I bring to pop-ups, other than petty cash and my swiper no swiping. All of those things are what I need in order to run a successful. And really all of this is fluff. I don't really need all of this. I just need the swiper and I need my knowledge, right? And I probably need a size chart. Okay, because that's kind of important. And honestly, I lost my size chart, so I don't even have a size chart anymore. I just pull it up on my iPad and I show it to them. So that is preparing so that you can have peace at the pop-up. Whatever you need to do, if you want to make it even more organized, I just pull out these bins. You can see they're just falling, but I pull out 2 of those per pop-up, and I just stick the one size sign inside of it. And I'm like, okay, this is the one size bin. This one's a tall and curvy bin. Nothing fancy. I used to have spiral racks that spiraled up, and they were metal racks, and they were scarf racks, and you'd hang the leggings in it, and it was a little spiral. It's adorable. Okay. But I don't have those anymore because I think it was Rochelle, but it was just too much. I was like, why am I bringing this? And I had the trailer at the time, so I could just shove it in there, but it just wasn't easy. It made my life harder. And so you'll learn as you start doing them, you'll change things and you'll change how you do it. So that's all preparing pre-pop-up, okay? Part of that is hostess prep. That's a whole nother topic that we're not going to go into, or this training will last for 2 hours. And we just had a training on hostess prep. So if you need to watch that, let me know and I'll get that over to you. And there's tons. I mean, you just YouTube and search hostess prep and you can find tons. Okay. And I am always a supporter of learning from tons of other people, anyone that you can. So practicing your verbiage, getting your mind prepped, and then being physically prepped for the pop-up. So obviously you can do like Les Brown talks, you can do inspirational videos on your way to the pop-up. You could go grab an ice cream if that's going to help you get into like the mood to be with a bunch of ladies and be on for 2 hours. Whatever you need to do prep-wise for your mind and physical labor, like getting an assistant or prepping the hostess already that she's going to come help you. All those things are going to give you more peace at the pop-up, okay, and more excitement. All right, so the next thing is obviously the pop-up. So you're going to get there, give yourself enough time that you will have a couple minutes, if not more, of downtime before the rush of customers come. So if you need an hour to set up, tell your hostess you'll be there an hour before. If you need 2 hours to set up, I would recommend getting an assistant so that you can make it an hour. Okay, if it's 2 hour setup, their hostesses are not going to want to bring you back because that takes 6 hours out of their time. 2 hour setup, 2 hour downtime, 2 hour party. Well, it's like an hour and a half, but it always ends up going over. Okay, your parties are always booked for an hour and a half. Why is that? It creates urgency. Makes people want to get there on time. You can use your own marketing skills on how to get people there more in the beginning of the pop-up than later. So you can say a free leggings giveaway for everyone who's here by the first half hour, or I'm excited to give away a discount for anyone that's coming in for, or you just say I have a gift, or really exciting, you're going to see all the new prints. I have a new box I'm bringing, and you can only see it if you're here in the first half hour. Whatever you want to do, you are a marketer. You're a business owner, so be creative and create some sort of sense of urgency for them to get there on time. Because someone who shows up at 8 when it's supposed to end at 8, you're going to let them shop, but you're going to end up being there for another hour. Because they're always like, for whatever reason, the person that needs the most help shows up the last minute before the pop-up ends. So anyway, so be prepared for that. Know that will happen. But always create that urgency, because when almost 99% of all my pop-ups end up going 2 hours. And that's because I'm a talker, and even if it's just me and the hostess, I mean, sometimes I'm just sitting there talking if no one showed up. I've been there for 2 hours with just me and the hostess. And I had an awesome time, dressing her and getting her super excited on what works with her body. And honestly, those are some of my favorite experiences. And they become 100% my customer because we have that relationship that was just built then. So be prepared for that. Obviously, that's part of preparing too. People will not show up. And practice your verbiage on how you're going to help the hostess feel better, because that hostess is going to feel worse than you do, because she has friends that she thinks would come support her and they don't, and she's going to feel terrible. So do what you can to make her feel loved and take the stress off of her, because it is such a stressful thing for someone to depend on people and people not come. So prep your hostess, ask for help if you need help. What you do is when you get there, I want you to throw up customer service everywhere. That's pretty weird way to say it, but I want you to be someone that just is the kindest, most courteous, most aware of your surroundings, like very, very aware of their house and their things and their personal items, being aware that you're in their home, that they're in a vulnerable state where they have now allowed you to come in and set up a bunch of stuff, right? And they're trusting you to keep their house safe, to keep their house not messed up. They're trusting you to be kind, to be nice, to bring, as many items as you can. And more than anything, more than the prints, a hostess wants a kind consultant who is aware of their needs and aware of their friends' needs and willing to roll with the punches, but also super courteous. Before I even start setting up, I bring my purse up and I go and I greet. And this is so important to pop-ups. And it's been important. It's what I put as number one for me. I always want to be known as the most courteous consultant that they've ever had. Because what's the point? I want them to want me to come back to their house. I want them to want me to bring the spirit that I bring with me, the happiness. Even if my life is in ruins, they don't know that. You know, I want them to be kind. Hey, Benj, Foxy's outside. Will you let her in? The dog keeps getting through the fence. Anyway, so be as courteous as you can. And so as soon as you get there, don't walk up with your racks and a bunch of stuff, even if you're late. Walk up and greet them and shake their hand. You know, that physical touch opens up that door of like, okay, you know, we're human beings. We receive inspiration if someone's a good person or not. Like, I think that if we come and we show up kind and we're able to shake their hand, and I always do the 2-hand thing, right? Shake their hand and I put my hand on top. I'm like, I'm so excited to meet you. So glad you let me come. Thank you so much. Be so thankful, because it's them as your hostess that builds your business for long-term business, right? It's so important for them, for your business. So being as courteous and lovely and caring for them is what's going to keep your business growing, because they're going to consistently tell their friends, you really missed out on a great party. And oh my gosh, Robin was amazing. You know, and so your growth is not dependent on just that party, because she's going to continue to talk about you as the LuLaRoe consultant that she loves for the rest of her life. So be kind, be giving, show up and give her the opportunity to tell you where to set up. Like, where would you like me to be? More than likely, they're going to say, do you want me to change this? Do you want me to move this couch? And I have a hard time. I'm always like, no, don't worry about it. And I end up saying, hey, can we push this couch over? Like, that'd be great, so that people don't trip on my rack or something. And just always excited and upbeat. And that's why I'm always tired after the pop-up, because it's a show kind of that I'm putting on. Like, I'm happy and I'm happy to be there, but it's like I'm overly joyed and I'm acting like Deanne, and that's not my natural state. So here, ask Dad for this, okay? Make an impression. Whatever it is that you do, make that impression, and make it so that when that hostess leaves, she has an idea of who you are and what you stand for and why she would want to have you back in her house, okay? Or why she would want to come to your house to shop an open box or something like that. That's the biggest thing, is make an impression. So we talk about preparing your mind, prepare physically, obviously pack the car, that's part of preparing physically, asking for help. Hostess prep is a different topic. Now you have to make an impression. And I would be the most proud consultant if I knew that the ones that I'm surrounded by are also some of the most kind consultants to their customers, and always willing to help, and always being aware of their hostesses' surroundings and their home. I always greet myself to the husband. If the husband comes out, I'm always like, thank you so much for letting me take over your house. Like, thanks for letting us throw up girl stuff all over your house. And I shake his hand, and I probably don't do the 2-hand thing. No, go talk to Dad. But I want to make an impression. I want to make sure they know that I am aware this is their territory, and that I am aware that I am grateful for them allowing me to come, that they're doing me a favor. I'm not doing them a favor by showing up and giving them free clothes. They're doing me a favor by supporting my business, and I want to make sure they know that. So make them want to have you in your home. Make that connection. Make that impression. Not everyone will like you. I have hostesses that I've never heard of from again. I have hostesses that were terrible, and I will never talk to again. But those that were worth it and worth my time, man, they are golden friends of mine and fantastic customers of mine. Once you're there and once people start showing up, that same impression moves to each customer. Always greet each customer that walks in. And this is where it gets tricky. You don't want to stampede towards them. They came into their friend's house. They want to go see their friend. They want to say hi to their friend. They don't want to be, unless the hostess asked you to open the door, which has happened several times for me. Then I introduce myself, and I don't throw up, like I've used to throw up 3 times. That's weird. I don't throw a bunch of LuLaRoe at them at the beginning. I just say, I'm the consultant. Let me show you where Cassie is, and you can go say hi, and then I'll come check in with you. And so you allow them to get in their comfort zone. They want to check in with their friend and make sure it's cool, and then go shop. Especially now, if they're not new to LuLaRoe, they're just going to beeline it straight to LuLaRoe. But if they're new to LuLaRoe, they're going to feel very awkward because they've never been to a house that's full of looks like a Macy's overnight. Okay. So make that impression with each customer. And that's where your verbiage comes in, where you're practicing verbiage of what if it's a shy customer, right? I'm not used to shy people. I may be becoming introverted, but I'm not shy. And so how are you going to approach that person that literally doesn't say hi back? I've had that. How are you going to approach, I've had this happen, an older lady that yells at you for trying to show her a size chart because she knows her size and she doesn't need you to show her. How are you going to approach a larger lady that's going to tell you you don't have anything in her size and she's not going to buy anything? You know, like, how do you approach someone that says, I hate LuLaRoe. Your prints are disgusting. And honestly, I used to love it and now I hate it. Like, you know, like you're going to have the craziest situations. How are you going to deal with it? Okay. If you are more shy, you might not have very good like verbiage to say. It might be better for you to just, well, I hope you have a great time, and focus on the other people that really want to be there. Okay. I get so like, I feel like it's my job to make people fall in love with it again. So I'm a little bit more invasive sometimes with people like that. But and that also comes with the experience of dealing with so many different walks of life and situations. And now I have confidence and I know how to help someone fall in love with LuLaRoe and how to deal with a bad situation. But before, I had to write these things down. So greet every single person that comes in. I want you guys to watch, if you're taking notes, but as you're greeting people and as you watch customers come in, watch them. Watch how they act. Watch how you can tell in the first couple seconds if they're, you know, introverted or extroverted. You can kind of tell if they're shy or they're outgoing. You can kind of tell if they're feeling a little standoffish because who knows what they think. You have no idea what they think, but you can tell if they're willing to come talk to you or not. I guarantee the shy ones are going to go into the kitchen with their friend and snack on the food and kind of watch. They're just going to watch and see what the heck is happening here. Those that aren't are going to walk over and start touching the clothes. So make a point to talk to those people first, introduce them, help them know, at least let them know what they're looking at, and then try to greet yourself to those that are kind of a little bit scared on the sidelines. So watch each customer and be aware that you have to greet differently to each customer. You have to, not the hello. Hello is normal. Just say hello, shake their hand. I'm Robin. But to greet them to LuLaRoe, you have to have different ways of talking about it. Okay, an older lady that knows her size, has been shopping at JCPenney her entire life, is not going to want to hear all about each different style that she needs to size down in. That's going to really bug her. All right, she's going to want to hear, have fun, go feel the clothes. Everything's polyester spandex blend. Sometimes we have some cotton, sometimes we have some rayon. It's really fun and different prints. So if you need your size, you know your size, awesome. Okay, you're good. So go have fun. And then a couple minutes later, check in. Would you like wearing dresses or shirts more? Because I got to tell you, I love this dress. Right? Let me show you what it looks like. Or you have your hostess. You have your hostess change. Right? And you say, well, and then you make a big hullabaloo. The hostess comes out in a Carly, and she wasn't wearing a Carly before, and all of her friends think it looks like a pillowcase on the hanger. And then she comes out in a Carly. It still like looks like a pillowcase, but all of a sudden they realize that's my favorite dress in the world because I can eat whatever I want and I can wear it wherever I want. And so then they're like, oh my gosh, that doesn't look like it's a rag on you. I want to try that on. Use your hostess to help link to those friends. Your hostess is going to be your greatest, I don't want to say alliance, but that's not the right word. Your greatest link to get in with those friends, because those friends are going to think you have a biased opinion, because you do. Because you love LuLaRoe, that's why you sell it. And they're going to come out on something, you're going to say, you look cute, and they're going to say, well, you have to say that. And so make sure that hostess is engaged, because and sometimes they'll say, well, what do you think? And I say, let's ask your friends, because you'll know I'm going to like it no matter what. Like, I'm crazy. I'll wear whatever print I want. I've been LuLaRoe for 2 years. My prints, my idea of fashion might be totally different. So I think you look cute unless they're wearing orange and their skin looks orange. I will tell them, no, my friend, not your thing. But for the most part, I have a hard time saying that it looks bad. So I will be honest and I'll say, I'm kind of biased. Let's ask your friends. Let's ask the hostess. Or I'll be like, hey, Bianca, come over here. Let's see Jessica and this Carly. Oh my gosh, let's see her in these leggings and this Irma. It's so cute. What do you guys think? Because that's the environment you want. You want them lifting each other up. That's not your job to do that. Your job is to bring everyone together. They're already friends, but your job is to make them feel that you feel comfortable around you. So you got to be approachable. You got to be kind. You got to greet. You have to be prepared, right? You got to have good inventory. All of this stuff correlates together. And I keep using my hands because for some reason when I put my hands down, my face goes really yellow. Well, now it's not. It's so weird. Okay. So set up before, greet everyone, and watch them. Watch how they interact with the clothes. Watch how they interact with one another. If you're finding that they're all stuck in the kitchen, it's your job to get them out of the kitchen and get them to the clothes. Take that challenge. Start bringing the clothes into the kitchen. Start bringing outfits in there and be like, you should try this on. And be like, you guys are missing out, you know, and start to maybe pull the hostess aside and be like, hey, can we start working on, I want to get you free clothes, you know, and everyone's kind of hanging out with the brownies and oh my gosh, they're amazing. But we should totally try on some LuLaRoe because you guys, I only have 45 minutes left. Like that's the creating that urgency, getting people to where you need them to be. Okay. So, another thing with the watch while you're watching and greeting customers is, and I think it's called acronym. It's called WAIT, and WAIT stands for why am I talking? That when I received this, I don't remember when I heard it. I think it was more for a leadership thing, especially with team. Like people want to anyway, it was just talking about why am I talking? That when I started mixing that with my parties, I started having amazing success because I stopped talking so much. I used to tell them the entire LuLaRoe story, every single person. And there's no sit down introduction for these parties. So I gave the introduction like 20 times at one party. I was at a vendor event when I first moved to San Antonio, the San Antonio Women's Expo. Every single person I met, I started telling them the LuLaRoe story about Deanne and why the prints are different and like insane long. No one wants to hear that at first. So you have to find something that is small, concise, that keeps their attention, is exciting, and makes them want more. So what do I say? This is what I say. Cindy, I walk up to you. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to meet you. Have you heard of LuLaRoe? Always ask that. Write that down. Always. Have you heard of LuLaRoe? That is it's like the chart. You ask the question, they're going to say yes or no, and it's going to take you in 2 different routes. Yes. Awesome. Do you know your sizes and everything, or do you need help with that? Nope, I'm good. All right, well, I'm here. Let me know if you need any help. I'd love to put outfits together for you. Done. She is the easiest customer ever, okay? Unless she brings returns and exchanges, and then she's not as easy. If she says no, you need to decide what you're going to say. What makes you excited about LuLaRoe? What makes it so different for you that they're going to hear the excitement and the love in your voice? Do you want to talk about your why? Do you want to incorporate the sizes? Do you want to incorporate the prints? Do you want to talk a little bit about Patrick or about Deanne or about all the countries we're in? You got to decide one thing. And here's what I do. I say, well, that is, you're going to love it. I really hope you have a great time tonight. And I want to tell you that I'm just going to tell you how to look at a rack. Because that's the simplest I can make it, right? So we walk up to a rack and I say, this is a rack. All right, this is my rack of Amelia's. And everything is organized from left to right. You have to do this because you just have to pretend like you're talking to the lowest denominator, okay? You have to just be kind and be friendly and explain it to them. Everything is organized from smallest to largest, left to right. So when you look at these, you're gonna see there's not a lot of repeat prints because we only make about 5,000 in each print, and it used to be only 2,000. So you're gonna find really unique stuff. But let me challenge you. Here's the size chart. Where do you fall on this? I ask that. Maybe that's not something you guys want to ask, but I always say, where do you fall on the size chart? So that I know in my brain when they grab a medium Amelia that they actually fell on they're a 10, but their boobs are D's. I'm probably going to say, oh, go grab a large just in case. And I won't say why. I'll just say, you know what? Grab a large too. Because I might say, I do say that. I might say you're blessed in the boobs. So just try a large because it's fitted on top. Just in case. So I'm aware of that. And that builds confidence that I'm not letting them take in a size that wouldn't fit them, right? I want to help them. I want to be a personal assistant to them, personal stylist. And that's how I want to create my parties. So that's what I built. So anyway, then I tell them, this section is the dresses, this section are the shirts, and here are the leggings. And I say, just take it slow. And this is, if you forget the name's on there. It's up there. I'm basically showing them how to read the party, okay? How to make their way through the racks. And then I challenge them. I say, I want to challenge you to take something in your size, everything in your size that you think you like, and just try them on. Because then you'll know your size, and it'll be much easier. You'll know how to shop, and then you can find different prints from other people. And honestly, I say that, but they never leave with nothing. They always leave with something because I challenge them to try something on. But I also give them the permission that I'm not territorial over LuLaRoe, and that I'm supportive of other people shopping for other people. And I think that that's also important and sets the tone that you're a kind consultant and you're willing to share. So, because the benefit is to them, not to you. All of this, explaining to them, all of this, it will benefit your business, but if you have the mindset of trying to help them, they will feel that and they will see that. So that's all part of greeting and watching them, and think of, why am I talking? What do you want to share with them? Depending on the person, I might say, well, I know you're going to love this business because I have fallen in love with it. It has given me so much confidence, and I have seen it give my customers amazing confidence. So it is more than just clothes, but let me show you how to look at a rack. Sometimes I will say that. I'll talk about my why, right? I'll say, oh my gosh, there's my husband over there. We've been able to bring him home and we work together. So, and I'll make a joke. Hopefully it's not weird that my husband's sitting over there being the checkout person, but he's like my rock and he carries everything. And I hope you get to meet him later. And that is why I've been able to really fall in love with LuLaRoe. It's more than clothes. But let me show you how to read a rack, And so you need to figure that out. What's comfortable for you? It's going to be writing it down, and then it's going to be practicing it. So in the beginning, like I said, for probably 6 months, I just threw up so much information on people, and I had people so annoyed with me. Some people loved it, right? And they were just, feed me more. And they will continue to come back and ask questions. If you have someone who's agreeing, who wants to hear more about the business, and not just to join, but just wants to know more about LuLaRoe, they're going to continue to ask while they're checking out. So when did this start? So where is this from? This is so cool. And I'll be like, what's so rad? It's in California. And I know that you use whatever to your benefit to answer their questions to the best of your ability. But remember, why am I talking? Don't overtalk them. Let them speak. Let them talk. And sometimes they won't say a word. No kidding. I've had customers where I have been like, so does any of that make sense? And they just go, and I legit silent. And I was like, and I could tell she was overwhelmed. And so I just said, is this a little bit overwhelming for you? And she just went, and she stepped away. And I was like, it's okay. I'm going to walk away and I'll let you just take your time. Right? And that's because if I didn't notice that, she would have ran away, but I gave her permission to have her feelings, and I walked away. And honestly, I don't remember if she bought anything, but being aware of other people's feelings and being aware of how people are acting is going to really help you in customer service and help you have successful pop-ups. Because the point of these pop-ups, and I've said that a couple times, the point of them is obviously to treat the hostess and build your business and build strong relationships. The best thing you can do for yourself is to have something in the future after that pop-up. Have someone come for a personal styling appointment. Have another pop-up booked from someone in that pop-up. If you don't have someone booked in that pop-up, have them all join your VIP group by the end of the night, right? So that they're future customers. If your hostess had such a great party, offer to have another party with her in 3 months. And you tell her all the friends that didn't make it, they're going to be jealous and they're going to want to come. So you should definitely book another party. Okay, all of these things correlate together. The best thing you can do for yourself is plan for your future success as well. So use all that hard work for your benefit. And I promise, if you're doing those things and building that relationship and being as kind as courteous and bringing that amazing spirit that you can give and gift these women in their home, they're going to want you back, or they're going to want to be on your VIP page to continue to shop from you. And that is what's going to make these pop-ups worth it. Because let's say a pop-up goes over by 2 hours and you don't get home till 1 a.m. because it's a 2-hour drive to them, and you're crying because you just missed a whole night away from your family, and 2 people showed up and you sold $200, and you didn't even make money because you had to spend that money on gas and food or maybe a car repair or something to get there, what's going to be worth it is the relationships that you made and the future success that it's going to help you bring. So those, if you make sure that you are getting at least those out of the pop-up, your pop-ups will always be successful. Always. Even if no one shows up. Because if no one shows up, you and that hostess are going to become besties. And you're going to have an opportunity to make her feel amazing and love on her, because she's going to feel terrible. Okay? Unless she just forgets and like locked her house and you didn't, like, she forgot about the party, then that might be a whole different situation. But yeah, so the last thing that I wrote was, remember to be a retailer. That's all feel good, happy, lovey, explain type stuff. In the end, you are a retailer. If you see someone walk into a bathroom with a pair of leggings, tell them, hey, you're going to want a longer shirt with that. Let me just grab you. Do you like tunics? Do you like just regular shirts fitted? Do you like 3/4 length? And they'll tell you one answer. You say, okay, I'm going to go grab you one. It may not even match, but I'm just going to go grab you one so you can have a full LuLaRoe outfit. They're not going to say no. You guys know you are going to walk around Target and grab every single thing that you can try on and do one try-on session. We don't want to take our clothes off 20 times. Well, mainly for bathing suit shopping, right? We don't want to like keep going in and out to do bathing suit shopping. It's like the worst because you have to take everything off. Okay. But that'll be another thing. The best thing you can do for them is in this situation when they're trying on clothes is giving them the opportunity to take more. And it's not just about upselling. It's just teaching them that, you know, you're doing them a favor by helping them take as much as they can into the bathroom so that they might as well try it all on then. And some people won't listen and they'll go in and out 20 times and that's totally fine. You don't have to, they don't have to do that. But if you see someone walk in with like, or put on a Joy, you're like, oh, you got to try that on with Julia. Or you got to try that on with a Carly. Like, you're not getting the full effect. You got to try that on. And then our friends go, oh, yeah, I do. Or they don't. And then you say, well, here they are here if you want. And then they do or they don't. But at least you offer it. Those have been my tried and true ways of how to gain those relationships and how to make sure I have successful pop-up, whether it's monetarily, relationship-wise, or future business. Those people are going to remember me. They're going to have a fantastic time. They're going to hopefully want me to come back if they do another pop-up, or they're going to want to come to my open houses or support me online. Because then when they see me live, they're going to say, oh, I have a connection with her. So I'm going to continue to watch her, or I'm going to want her at my house. And that's why my lives have been successful, because I've been able to tune into or reach out to those people that I have met over the years that I hadn't seen in a while because I moved away, and they had that connection with me as their personal stylist. And whether I did good or not at it, there was a connection. And so it's been great to be able to reconnect with them at that point. Now at the end, my last little piece of advice is when it's about to end and it's not wrapping up, you have permission to say, guys, I got 10 minutes left. I might have to start packing up because I got to get home and put my kids to bed, or I got another appointment, or got another pop-up, or whatever. It's okay to cut them off. And especially if you have another pop-up and you've got to get to that pop-up, but make sure you're being loud and you're announcing it, because then they're going to have a frenzy and be like, ah, and then you say, don't worry, we can come another time, or you can come over, or you can shop online, but I really need to pack up for the next pop-up. Okay. And part of having the hostess not get mad about that is the hostess prep. You already prepped her that it's an hour and a half. And if she had a friend show up late, she's not going to talk bad about you that you ended it on time. She's going to say, well, I did tell you, Sam, to get there at 8 and you showed up at 9:45. Like she's packing. She's not going to leave everything out for you. So that's all part of a whole different topic, hostess prep. And then pack up as quick as you can. Get out of there. And I always walk in and say, okay, what can I help? Like, can I put something back for you? Can I help clean up? Just be as courteous as possible. Like someone that if you had the best helper come over, what would you want them to say to you? What are some kind things that would be so, so helpful? And that's what you want to do. And you will make a big impression, and you will have an awesome experience at these pop-ups. And you will be addicted to them, and you'll be like, why the heck have I been focusing on mine? This is way more fun, way more fun. So, but I know our team, I know you guys want in-homes more, and I know that this is not the challenge. The challenge is booking them. And so that's, you know, another topic for another time. But I love you guys. Do you guys have any questions or anything? Awesome. Okay, well, have an awesome night, and thanks for putting up with this face, and have a great evening. I have to go live, and I'm probably not going to go live. I'm going to make Ben do it. Shop the box. Yay. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.